chart shows debt as a percentage of GDP. Okay, federal debt as a percentage of gross domestic product, which is a gauge. GDP is the gauge of how much money our economy is producing overall, right? It's a complicated thing to try and gauge, but they've they've done a decent job. So in the 60s, 70s, 80s, we're talking about it's only 30% up to as high as 40% in 1966 of GDP. The debt is only 40% of GDP. In the 80s, it starts to climb, right? And it's getting up there 60%, 65%. And then here's where it starts getting crazy. 2008 crisis happens and the percentage of debt to GDP spikes in basically 2 years to 80+% of GDP, and it continues to climb all the way to 2013. We start to level out around 100% GDP. Can you imagine that? What if this was your personal scenario and you had as much debt as you have income? That's pretty rough. It's hard to pay. And then we spike it in 2020. We get to 135% as a